Hello and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. In this video we're going to be going over the scenario World War 25. Let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here we are spawned in. We spawn in England here, or Great Britain, whichever you want to class it as. We've got a triple mex point, a geothermal directly underneath us, and we have basically the whole of Europe to fight against. So in this scenario, it's us versus 3 separate teams of either 3 or 2 AI. As you can see here in the other team, there is Hound, Lamer, Master Conquest, Manticore, Goon, Bereth, someone whose name I don't know, and Mel Calvin. So we basically start off on our own, which gives us a bit of time because it means the AIs are kind of going to be fighting themselves. Our urgency here is going to be to get some form of fighter screen up as quick as possible. The bit at the beginning of the scenario, like the brief, does warn you that the enemy is going to be using air to attack you, which is why we're going to prioritize that. We also want to get to the island that's just in the sea above us, which I believe is supposed to be something like Iceland or something like that, because that is a 5 metal point, so that's quite a lot. Also, which is a bit difficult to see right now, but just to our right in the water is another 6 metal points, so it would be quite important to get that as well. Now this is quite a high metal map, so we're going to try and also get a foothold in what would be Scandinavia, and we will see how it goes. So we've gone air first. Now we went air in the last scenario, and now don't get me wrong, realistically in normal games, especially in games like PvP games, really you should not be going air first. Air is not an ideal pick. It kind of leaves you completely defenseless from any ground-based attack. Your engineers can be shot down pretty quickly. It's also really expensive energy-wise. Now, the only reason we're choosing to do it here is because A, we know we've got some time free. B, because we want to get up to that island and get spread out. And C, because our first defense that we need is some form of air defense. But we're only going to get an initial stuff set up, and then our plan is to build a substantial navy so that we can get naval presence sorted. And you can see I'm queuing up a bunch of stuff here with my commander. So the air engineers we've got here, we're basically going to be using to build stuff on here and that top section. I know we're going to need a bunch of energy, so we're queuing up a bunch of that now with our second engineer while our commander's walking. And at the moment all we're doing is building engineers. And the area mechs was the second engineer, the top 2 and the ones on that island. Chances are we'll probably use that engineer to build some defenses on that area as well. We're just waiting for things to kind of go. Now, because this is a 3v3v2, well, we don't know where they are to begin with. The chances are, looking at the layout of the map, wouldn't surprise me if we had one group of enemies in France, which is directly to our south. Maybe one, I mean, that could also be Spain, like, who knows. One to the segment to our bottom right, like diagonal from us directly. One on the other side of the mountain could be there as well, potentially. Some group is definitely going to spawn in what would be Russia. I would presume there would also be some spawning in the Sweden-Scandinavian way, so we'll see. Now again, you can see we're struggling with energy here. Wasting metal, which is not good, but our commander is currently walking. Right now we need more build power, if anything, but we also need energy to support that build power. Now, the reason why we're obviously floating metal so much is that planes themselves don't require a lot of metal to make. But wind at this current point is only like 6, which is not really good. At least it's starting to go back up now. Okay. And yeah, now we're wasting energy by just supporting. So I'm going to build a couple of construction turrets. You may know them as nano turrets. That's what they used to be called. Now, because we're wasting so much resources here, we're just trying to rush down that construction turret while still building energy. Now, this first section is quite quiet. Not really much going on right now. Commander is still building those things that we queued him up for. Come on, construction turret. Take your time. And there we go. Now, off the top of my head, I don't remember the exact build power of each of these things, but the construction turrets, I believe, if I remember correctly, has one of the highest amounts of build power possible, which is why as soon as you get one up, it's so much easier to then start building other stuff. However, obviously they take a lot of energy to maintain and build in the first place, so yeah, you need to make sure you've got at least somewhat of an economy up and running first before you can start doing that. You see now where our energy is going okay. The reclaim of the trees. Commander, for some reason, is... Oh, no, there we go, still there. Torpedo defenses. Okay, got a radar up there so we can actually see what's going on. And there we go, we'll use this guy to build just some defenses here. I just want to make sure that if some like amphibious like engineer just walks on the land like we had in the Outsmart the Barbarian scenario, we're not going to lose that entire section just because of that. Now, as you can see, I'd like to build a geothermal, but with it costing 1,500 energy, we do not have that stored right now. But we'll get these winds done first. That should then give us enough. Now, some point soon, we're going to want to start going into the water. Setting our fighter screen route up here. 3 planes, fighters, 4 fighters, and 1 scout. Now, the reason why we're choosing the scout is because not only obviously does it have radar, it also has sonar. So if there are subs or something in that area, we'll be able to see. There we go, we can see an orange, green, light green. And that's from the radar where the commander is currently. Okay, we're going to try and make landfall up here, see what we can do. Again, we're struggling on energy here, mainly because we're building that geo as well as still building stuff. We have loads of metal spare, so we'll build solars. With wind down at like 1 right now, like this is terrible for wind, so there's no point continuing really to build wind. May as well get all these guys building solars for now. Okay, and here we go. Our commander's made landfall. Just preparing for D-gun usage there by pressing the D key. That basically puts all other energy use on the back burner while we have enough energy to be able to D-gun. Now we know there's nothing here, we're fine. got a guy reclaiming still. Still building wind. Still building solar. Wind's going back up right now, so that's going to be good. Geothermal's been built as well. So here we go. So now we've got a bit of economy on the go. We're kind of wasting so much metal right now. We're going to get some ships on the go. We need to be able to defend our shores. Get an energy storage to try and help with the wind fluctuation. And then we're going to start getting some torpedo defenses along the shore. In theory, we have, you know, air to protect us from the air. We can put some gunships in that mix, will also defend us against like hovercraft, and then the torpedo defenses should defend us against any like amphibious, you know, like under the water stuff, ideally. And that is the plan, at least for now. We've got a lot of metal right now, so we're going to try and build the Tech 2 Air. Not necessarily a great plan, but it is what we are doing. Energy is what we're short on, yet again. We're going to build a bunch of tidal at the top here, because it's 22 energy from tidal. And so we'll just have that naval engineer doing that. Okay, and we've seen some red there in the north of Sweden, seen some yellow in the ocean to our south. Hopefully it is just radars, in which a single boat should be fine. Now, probably should have waited a little while before starting to build stuff out of that factory, because we're still currently building everything, which is bad on our part. Should have started the reclaiming of that air factory first, so that we would have got the metal and not stalled metal, which is what we've done right now. Okay, so we got that reclaim, we got that boost in from the factory. The idea now is to try and get some Tech 2 fortifications up. You can see there's a lot of explosions going on there as well. Some air stuff coming in. Our commander is a bit exposed right now, being all the way there, but kind of need that build power up there. And the first engineer we've got coming out, we're going to have him area mechs. With that metal incoming. We've got some tanks to defend our front line up here. Still running low on energy, so we're going to build some solars. Now, I honestly don't expect that little front line area up there to survive. I'll be honest with you. It's it would be a nice to have, and it's a good foothold, but like we've got no way of reinforcing it from our main base, which is where we've got all our build power and everything like that. It's kind of flanked on multiple sides, so we're just gonna have to, you know, somewhat play it safe. Gonna reduce what we're building in that. Don't really need the strike stuff or the air defenders. We've got fighters for that purpose. So the red is not the same as the yellow team, which is the one we've got to our south. Red and orange. So a different orange in the sea that's coming through there, which is a plane. A bomber at that. Okay. A bit of radar jammer. Got some idle build power right now. Just going to zoom in, get those guys, just those guys. Going to get a bit more torpedo defense. Now, torpedo defenses themselves, they also have sonar on them. So just because we don't have like vision, doesn't mean that we're not going to have some sonar coverage. Yeah, we got two Tech 2 mexes up. We're okay on energy at the moment. Kind of need some construction turrets by that naval shipyard, ideally. Now, at this point, we're kind of choosing to go more, more Tech 1 units just in general than Tech 2, just purely because we kind of need more units out in the field right now. However, saying that, there's a high probability that the AI is going to be getting Tech 2 very soon. We're going to prep here for Tech 2 Naval. There's the bombers. Try to repair that defender. Rebuild the mechs, get some more defenders out. Go for the typical build there of the tanks and Janices. Okay, so they have Tech 2, that's Tech 2 Air. There's some underwater stuff there. Okay, so we need to get energy production up and running. That's Tech 2, so that we can start expanding more of the Tech 1 stuff. You can see I've also went 1 fusion, 1 advanced energy converter, and then another fusion again. Now 1 fusion can support 1 advanced energy converter. Obviously, in terms of space, it's easier to go the 5-to-1 of the advanced energy, like the advanced fusion generator, to the advanced energy converters, and just 1-to-1 with the fusions. Okay. Using the commander to support that. Now, I would like to get the commander back, however, it's a bit iffy right now. Also, the fact that they can just skirt through there and hit all my tidal, which I didn't think about. Which is not good, because I might lose some here. Just try and reclaim this boat. That's all really I've got on option-wise. There we go. Claiming worked. Go, and our front line is fortified on the south. Definitely need more boats in the water, but we're going to get that Tech 2 mechs up and running. Fusion's up as well, that's good. Yeah, you can see there, first torpedo bomber has come out. Considering there's so much water around us, it would make sense to do that. You can see different things fighting each other there on the shoreline. I'm going to send our tanks forward and see what we can do. Okay, so geothermal gone. We lost 3 tanks so far, 4 tanks, 5 tanks. Lost a decent-ish amount, but we have secured another 3 mexes, so that's not bad. And a potential geothermal spot as well. Our torpedo bombers is doing its thing in the water to the south. They are trying to build a shipyard there, which not good. Clearly the torpedo bombers should really deal with that, and you see I'm going to reclaim that and get the Tech 2 Navy factory on the go. And here goes our other fusion up and running as well. Just queuing up a bunch of stuff. We still want radar planes in our mix because we need, we need vision. And that's what's going to help us with that. That reclaim. Metal is what we're lacking right now. Now, ships themselves, they are very, very metal intensive. One of the reasons we've gone Tech 2 Navy as well is because the air can't build the Tech 2 underwater metal extractors. So we're going to need a Tech 2 naval factory in order to get those 6 metal points we've got there in the middle up to Tech 2. Which would obviously be quite ideal to have. Now they do have some anti-air things. And also some other air. See, we're building cruisers. I'm going to build a flak as well. Now, these torpedo bombers don't actually have to see what they're shooting at to drop their bombs, so just keep that in mind. They are quite expensive though. Now there is some reclaim on that island at the north, which I have completely ignored, which is, you know, bad on my part here, because that could have been that. Now, hoping for a quick win by building a nuke. Whether this will work or not is a completely different story. Yeah. If we can get it to work, that's great. It's going to make things a bit quicker for us here. But we're going to have to wait and see. Really, that's all we can do. Healing that torpedo plane. Got too much build power on that for me to kill that with this cruiser. I'm not going to be able to hit it either with oh, that's someone hit me. I'm going to lose this cruiser as well, aren't I? Trying to dodge that artillery shots, but no. Didn't help. Unfortunately, fortunately for me, I have a resurrection sub. So that can just go and resurrect that boy. Will be good. One issue with torpedo plane, if it drops its torpedoes, because it drops them before it hits, like it will drop it like a little bit behind the target, and then torpedoes go in the water and fly towards it. If you're coming over a naval target over land, it will just drop the torpedoes on land, which obviously torpedoes don't work on land, so they just blow up. So you need to be a bit careful with them. Yeah. Right, so we're going to use all these Tech 1 tanks we've got now, and we are going to push down to the next section, see what we can do. Right now we've got a decent chunk of the map. I'm going to try and continue getting this up to high tier. I'm a bit worried about, that's a lot of stuff up there. Oh, there's a red AI. Skirt around. Don't particularly want to lose all my units here, but at the same time they're only Tech 1. Still got some units left over. That was not necessarily the best call. It did, however, take out the red and orange army. So that's one team gone. Torpedo plane is doing its job at harassing that sea that we've got. Kind of want to make sure we get that commander wreckage over there. So a decent amount of stuff. We do need to think about clearing out this south side. We try and mass up a bunch of cruisers to deal with that. Okay. So, also, for those that don't know, lasers actually have damage fall off. So these cruisers have a plasma weapon, and they also have 2 laser weapons on the front and aft, and torpedoes as well. Now, the laser weapons, the further away they are from the target, the less damage they do. Whereas plasma obviously just does full damage all the time. So just keep that in mind. This affects any unit with that. So things like, you know, AKs, all that sort of stuff, it's all like involved with this. So, and we got those factories. We are taking torpedo damage. Going to try and get that cruiser out. Now we did get that resurrection off, but it just died instantly. So, and we did actually still lose cruiser, which is a bit annoying. Well, we've got some Tech 2 guys on the go. We're going to get those area maxes on up. That cruiser around the back is going to deal with that guy. Yep. And yeah, so far, we're not doing too bad. Kind of built way too many engineers here. Did not really want to build this many engineers. I kind of build someone to shoot this water that's coming past without really exposing myself too much. So they do have Tech 2 Navy, Orange does. Well, a shade of orange at least. There's probably a lot of reclaim there as well, because there was obviously a factory. Here you go, let's get this commander wreck. That reclaim. At this point I'm also thinking maybe it's time to maybe start getting my my commander back, because he's a little bit exposed out here on the front line. So he's already started walking back, as you saw there. He's now back in my base. That is a big explosion. Commander maybe? Nuke launcher is ready. Going to start up on our T2 economy. There's another reason to go air, is just due to T2 economy is so much easier to build with air. Now, when it comes to being the perfect way of building a T2 economy, like how you like build it in terms of like your construction turrets to units and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to build it exactly the same way I have. Now, I would quite likely say that when it comes to that sort of stuff, I'm not the best at it. People like LSR, Ragnar, they've got great videos on how to tech in terms of doing things like economy and things like that. So I definitely say check out their videos if you want more of a advanced, exactly how should I build this to be the most, you know, optimal possible. So at this point we've got a fighter screen up. We've got some gunships and stuff like that in there to help us. Got a nuke launcher built, which is quite a big deal. And we have, well, control of our immediate ocean, except for that bit to the south corner. We're getting there. Now, we get some scouts up to see if they have nuke defense. And a lot just blew up there. That is another team gone. So now it's just me versus green. They have Tech 3. And unfortunately, they have a nuke defense. So, we need to think how we're going to do that. So I was thinking one of these, the Paralyzer EMP missile launcher. So what that is basically the equivalent of what Subcom has as like TAC nukes. Oh, that's Tech 2 there. And sniper bots. Yeah, unfortunately I don't think I've got enough to stop that Tech 2 push there. Did kill the sniper bots, which is the big thing. Oh, and there's a Tech 3 coming from behind. Right, well, I did get Tech 2 there, but I don't think they'll be built in time. Although the heavy laser towers are doing quite a bit to him. We will see. yeah, we don't have enough Tech 1 units left to really stop that push, so we may lose that. Realistically, I do not have anywhere near enough construction turrets on my factories, which is not good on my part. I have way too many engineers as well. Like, I don't need that many Tech 1 engineers there. Hopefully, we're building some Tech 2 tanks here. They may be able to hold out a little while longer. It's going to get a scout up and running again. See what we can see. See if this green guy's got any more anti-nuke. No, but he is building Tech 3, which is not good. So we've already got some missile ships built, and a couple of the battleships. Kind of hoping that I may be able to hit their energies with the missile ships. That's the plan. Disrupt their economy. They'll also cause a chain reaction, so we'll see. Realised I don't have a radar up on that front. There we go. So we've been pushed back on that side. It is me versus 3 now, so kind of a bit more easier for us to control. Now we're manually firing these missile ships. Missile ships may potentially be able to hit the anti-nuke. Gotta get pretty close though in order to do that. Also, as you can see, they kind of fired like spread shots. So they're not like super accurate. And there goes all their economy. So that's good. And the anti-nuke should also be gone. So, nukes away. Now, you could ask, hey, why aren't you upgrading your geothermal? And that's a very good question. Mainly because an advanced geothermal that goes off is almost the equivalent of like a nuke explosion. And I don't feel confident that they couldn't like attack nuke us or walk a Tech 3 just into our base. Where I wouldn't have to degun something. So I just want to be a bit more safer here, that we're not going to lose our entire base just because of a geothermal going up. Oh, and you just saw there a Tech 3 on the north bit here. We do not have anything to stop that. We lost the factory. That area is basically gone. We're going to try and just reclaim him. That's all we can really do with our engineers here, which is actually forcing him to back off. Starlight's pounded him pretty hard. He's going to walk into the water now. But yeah, that army's going to finish us off there. Alright, so we've been pushed off there, which basically puts us back to our original position. I realise at this point we've launched the nuke, but we don't have an anti-nuke in the water defending our fleet, so we're getting that up. Also, it's starting to get to the point where we don't really need to worry much more about water. Like, we have control of the ocean. So in the little while future here, we're going to start coming off of building Navy here and switch over to even more air, or maybe even Tech 3. We kind of need more in the way of the economy stuff on the go. Need more scouts to see actually what's going on, where everything is. A bunch of scouts going over now. The AI commander didn't actually die. And launch another nuke. There's a decoy maybe, so we'll launch 2 nukes. So there's one of the bases. Build some liches. Pretty good at like going in and like taking out anti-nukes if they have them. There's the tech-free factory gone. Now at this point they have a lot of eco. They have a substantial economy bonus to us. This is not in a good position for us. We have basically taken one of them out of the game by completely destroying their base. So there is that. Oh, and there's also a Titan underwater there. Sorry, is it a 4 now? I can't remember what they're called now. Luckily, these cruisers have the torpedoes, so they will kill it for us pretty much. Also, did not mean to pull every single one off, but yeah, that's what I did. You can see its little footmarks where it's walking. It's still definitely alive. There it is. Keep moving. Torpedo planes are also hitting it. At this point, I'm probably building way too much stuff. Don't need that many aircraft carriers. Come on, let's kill that guy. Yep, need an anti-nuke up there as well. I can build a geo. Don't want it walking onto that north side. Oh, they've got quite a big navy there actually. Come on, chase the thing down. It's the little smoke where it's damaged in the water. See it, keep going, keep going. Meanwhile, that other fleet's been sandwiched. There we go. It's dead. We've sandwiched that other fleet, and that other fleet is also dead. That's good. Being careful with our aircraft carriers there. We don't necessarily want to lose them. We'll send these guys around to the north. Now that we've got quite a chunk of army here. These guys to hold the middle. Missile things there. Some flax if they do have lots of air. Getting down that channel, though, with ships is going to be really difficult. Want to group up our liches here. And get some air defense in the water here, just to help out. Got all this reclaim. So much reclaim. Okay. So you can see we're closing off ship production now. We're pretty good on that front. I don't think we really need much more. Something there. Oh, there's an artillery thing. Missile ships will probably be able to deal with that. Still got a spy plane alive. We're gonna scout the spy plane. Try and find the anti-nuke. There it is. I'm going to use attack. So those liches should fly in and just kill the anti-nuke, and then we can just nuke them. Get the scout plane to go over. They are rebuilding in that section there. There we go. Come on, boys, you can make it. No, one died. No, they all died before they reached their target. But they did land on a bunch of metal makers, so not the best of deals there. But yeah. So I either need more spread of units, so like some scouts or something to just kind of like, you know, take the shots of the air defense. I'm just gonna tell that nuke to go fire off some stuff to try and clear out some stuff for us, build some more atomic bombers. Unfortunately, that EMP missile launcher we built, pretty useless. Now that we killed that green base with just the missile stuff, missile ships, yeah, they're not really going to do us anything. But we didn't know that at the time. So, oh, there's an anti-nuke. And that is also an enemy Titan. That's not good. Might have to degun this with the commander. It's a bit risky, but we don't really have a choice. If he comes on land, we're going to have to do something to stop it. Although he's a bit confused and doesn't look like he knows what he wants to do. Ideally, we need to make landfall somewhere and just get a foothold somewhere so that we can actually get some stuff built. And these guys just stop building like wallies. Continue with that economy on the go. Another anti-nuke somewhere in that area. Accidentally got fire selected in that. Right, so our north channel is clear. Sweden's still got stuff on it, or say Scandinavia's still got stuff on it. Build some submarines here to just kind of block any underwater stuff come in. Don't really need them though anymore now that we've got basically all our cruisers down south. I've tried to send this stuff in there. They have a lot of stuff in that hole. So that didn't work, and there's like 13k metal there. So yeah. Now getting into this gap here, we can be shot by either side, so it's not really working very well for us. We need to kind of go in here via land. That means we need to get on the land somewhere. Right now we don't have enough build power. That's our biggest flaw. So build some construction turrets. There's a lot of hovercrafts. A lot of hovercrafts. Okay. Just going to build a couple more anti-nuke ships just in case. Just using our nuke launcher to clear out stuff as and when we get a minute. Bit worried about that mass of hovercrafts. And yep, looks fine. So definitely lacking build power still. We're wasting all this economy because we just don't have build power enough to build anything. So this is a situation where I'm not doing very well. It's mainly just due to the fact that I'm wasting so many resources. So if you ever do get to that point, you need more build power, which is what I'm trying to build, but it's taken a little while to get there. Also in my haste, I've built 4 targeting link factories, which is not factories, but it's not a big deal, but there's a substantial diminishing returns after the 3rd one, and all that does is reduce radar wobble on dots. It doesn't make your guns more accurate or anything like that. It just means that where the dots are tends to be where the dots actually are. Alright, so we've got 7 atomic bombers now. That should be enough to get in and get that anti-nuke out. Grouping them up a bit. Although I didn't notice all of those tech free climbing up this hill. Doing that anyway. These scouts are going to go in head. We are losing that North Island up there, which is a shame. Long-range plasma cannon detected. Right, new defense is gone. Can nuke that base. Queued up a bunch of nukes there. Okay, so the tech free that was on that top hill are gone. Getting some torpedo defenses around that hill there so we don't have that happen again. It's good, it's part of their base gone. A lot of hovers coming across there. Don't really need torpedo ships anymore, planes anymore rather. We got an epoch out. That should hopefully get us through to the bit in the middle, and we're going to start building tech 3. Quite late to be building tech 3, I'll be honest with you. But having all the votes in the world isn't going to help us here because we can't actually do anything with it. Also getting vision down that bloody hole is really annoying. Which is why we're going to build a sonar. Yeah, there's a lot of metal there. A lot of metal there. We are fine for that at the moment though, we don't really need it. If anything, we've got too much of it. Just securing that chokehold there. We could go back into Sweden again, but the main bases and the commanders I don't think are there, so we're just going to go straight into building Tech 3 really is our thing. Still stop building our advanced eco, we need to go back to that. I only queue up 2 at a time just in case I need the resources elsewhere, but unfortunately I was not very smart, I'm wasting a lot of time here. Yeah, I've got a long-range plasma cannon, that's queued up to be nuked, so that'll be fine. Getting more construction turrets on here because we're still wasting so much metal. And I have noticed that in my queue there, I've only got 2, I've got 3 advanced energy converters as opposed to the full 5. I've also noticed that right now my energy is not quite hitting the full amount, and when I'm building all those construction turrets, they're going to definitely churn through it quickly. So Yeah. We just, we're leaving a bit more extra energy for us. Okay, we're going to the spy planes again. See what we can see. Is the plasma cannon gone? Trying to decide where to send this Tech 3 unit. They've got a bunch of them down there. There's another one in the water, which we spotted. They've also got a shit ton of flak. One guy on his own is not going to do anything against all those. And there's a bunch more down the bottom. Okay, we still haven't seen Dark Green's base. And there's still apparently 5 enemy commanders. So they might have resurrected a commander, I guess. Or unless it counts decoys as well. That guy's not getting onto land. Nope. Reposition the line. Make sure if someone's coming we see it. So much metal there. We're wasting so much metal as well. Use that sub there to repair everything. We get some construction turrets here in the water. Just it's automatically going to reclaim stuff for us and repair everything. Try and keep that chokehold in the ocean there. Build a couple more ships. But remember, we've got repeat mode off here, so it's literally just going to build them and that's it. And I missed all of that. That is a lot of stuff. Kind of panic dragged there and just was like, quick, we need to stop that coming up. Again, moving the commander close, ready to degun if needed. Build that sonar, get some torpedoes up. That guy is in the way. That guy is also going to be in the way. One of them's gone. Two of them gone. Oh, he has come out. But he's dead. Luckily enough there. Okay. Now we've got 3 of these guys. We're going to try and make a bit of a landfall. Use our gunships as well. I'm going to set them back so we've got a bit of... we're grouped up a bit. And then I'll send them forward. Got 4 bombers. Not quite enough. Gunships are on the way. More of these construction turrets on the go. Tech 2 construction sub is almost dead, so that's not good. Well, that's a lot of flak. That is a lot of air defense. Oof. Okay. Maybe not. It's like 20 or 30 blooming hover air defenses there. Bit too much. Oh, there's another. These guys are getting shot by some form of artillery, so I'm just going to keep them moving. Need to kind of see where that is. chuck off a nuke on these places that look like they've got a bunch of stuff. And that looks like that might be Green's base. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Or is that anti-nuke though? Which is unfortunate. But we've actually made landfall and have somewhat got control of an area. We're going to try and push into what looks like Green's base. He's the only one with a full base left, so if we can get that anti-nuke gone, we can just deal with it. Let's set these to fight mode. They should just bomb anything in that area. Okay. So we've got an annihilator. There's the anti-nuke. Focus the anti-nuke down. There we go. Now get out. And nuke it. And for some reason these bombers just decided to fly here and land rather than actually do anything. Super helpful. A waste of 4 atomic bombers. And they've still got an anti-nuke somewhere, so I've clearly missed an anti-nuke somewhere. Looks like it came from a little bit further back. We're just going to pull these guys back. They're pretty heavy damage, so we're going to get some construction turrets built to heal those guys up while I wait for a few more. I'm just queuing up a bunch more radar bots here, planes rather, because we kind of need to see what's going on. Getting these guys to go meet up with the other 3. We did lose one, which is not ideal, but yeah. Now, realistically, again, you can notice that I've basically not been building any boats. All that water stuff is pretty much under control. We've got a couple of anti-nukes. We are missing an actual anti-nuke on that bottom corner, but hopefully that should be fine. That flagship right at the front there, just bombing that hole. Just going to repair these. Well, they do have a bunch of stuff attempting to cross that bottom choke point. Oh, and a lot of stuff there as well. It's a lot of hovers. Quite a lot of hovercraft there actually as well, which is not ideal. And also, yeah, hovercraft torpedoes don't do nothing against them. So all those torpedo defenses are built completely useless. I don't really want to build those, but I don't really have a choice, so that's what we'll build to counter that. There's also some form of artillery hitting us from somewhere. Yeah, we've got a bunch more spy planes now. I'm going to see what we can see with all these. Hopefully they'll be able to shoot down all of them. We've got a walking artillery. Yellow's kind of rebuilding his base. I don't think I saw that anti-nuke. Well, not yet, no. There's a lot of underwater fusions though. Realistically, what would be more beneficial if I could get on the land, build like a Tech 2 land factory, or just something to support the Tech 3 units. Even if it's just like repair bots, so that I can repair them behind me as I go. But yeah, a lot of underwater fusion. Try and push in with this epoch He is getting pounded. That's a range plasma cannon, it's got to be. It's just more choke point, just send boats into. And that will just get swarmed by all of those hovers. Oh, and there's the time. Back. Oh, those guys are still not finished there with the anti-nuke. Four more of these guys ready to go. I'm still wasting, which still means I need more build power. Still don't have enough build power. Now this is the issue with macro over micro. I'm kind of microing my units rather than dealing with the macro side of things, of actually managing my economy. Which, if I was better at that part of the game, which is something that I'm not so good at, we could potentially be finishing this a lot quicker. So I'm wasting so much metal here, which means we could be producing, you know, substantially more of these tech trees. There's another one down there, I think, to my south. That's all of their hovercrafts that they had. There we go, we've got 10 of these guys now. Now, the plan is to move them across here. And maybe try and clear that north side instead, rather than trying to just go down this chokehold, because it's just not working. And then build a front line up there. Use those pop-up turrets there. That should give us a bit of a front line at least. We get a radar going and see what's going on. Pull that guy out, he's getting a bit hurt. Pulsar, that's a lot of tech free there. A lot of tech free. Just ducking into the water. Just got flak shooting down our engineers as well. Not quite working as intended there. I was hoping these guys had I can hit these fusions with the bombs in the water. We'll see. Whereas these guys have no form of underwater weaponry, so completely useless underwater. Just free damage for them, basically. But means we can come at this from a slightly different angle. Those long-range plasma cannons hurt though. Oof, not enough damage on that. Trying to use the shoreline here is there. Another one gone. I'm trying to get close to that anti-nuke, but not proving to be too good right now. We've got a bunch of subs that we can just basically push down there and get those fusions. Oh, there's Beref's gone. There's the pulse on. Staying back so that we don't get degunned by it. Unfortunately, don't know where he's gone, which is annoying. Ugh. Keep moving. Trying to do as much damage as we can. Bear in mind we had 10 of these to start with, now we only have 3. Nuke defense is gone. So much damage. Push for these guys. And then Tachyon to the south there. Is that nuke going to land? Yes. Some more nukes queued up there. I don't think those guys are going to survive much longer, but we're also coming from the other side, so that will do some trying to suicide this guy so that they couldn't resurrect it, but I was a bit slow on the control D there. As you can see now, got another 4 ready to go. Just F keying them into that area there, so they'll just walk in. Now I would like to use 4s, but obviously I'm not on the right side to do that, so I can't. I'm going to try and clear out that middle bit of the water. Just taking 3 shots here just to kill them in wings. Hit that advanced geothermal, and there you go, look how big that explosion was. And that's why we didn't build one in our base. Another nuke going off. Advanced fusions, boom. There's Goon. That dead, nice. Factory dead as well for Tech 3. Lost one. Go. I can't prioritize getting rid of these pulsars. There we go. Alright. So that guy's completely gone now. Or at least the base is. Hey guys, Editor Rack here. Rather than you watch me just spending the last, so on, just doing cleanup, I figured that just have the footage playing in the background sped up so that you can see what's going on while I talk. So that's it for this scenario. As you can see, it was quite a long one. It's kind of a situation where you need to control the ocean around you. If you can control the ocean around you, you're pretty good. As you saw there, they will send stuff underwater to you, so you need to make sure you have some way of defending yourself from the ocean. Another thing is, it does say they will send planes to you. However, in my playthroughs, you saw they never did send any aircraft to you. So whether you want to not go air at the start and you want to build something else for like amphibious tanks, for example, to make landfall, that's another option. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching. I know this has been quite a long one. But before we go, there's one thing I do need to ask is why 83% of you aren't subscribed. What are you doing? You're clearly here to watch these videos. Just click that button. Makes it easy for you. But yeah, with that out of the way, see you guys next time.